So how did you guys celebrate your 4th of July weekend?
I gotta think back to that now. What did I do 4th of July weekend?
Well, that was this past weekend, right? Because it was Daytona.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's true.
Been waiting all week to say that one, huh?
Hell yeah.
Been waiting all week.
It didn't end the regular season, which is a little weird now, because that's been the tradition for 3 years now, right? 3 years?
Damn Olympics with your tradition.
kinda- It's in a weird no man's land now. Sorry if I'm messing with my camera.
Yeah.
Because it used to be the halfway point of the season.
Yeah.
And then it was like, it's the end of the regular season. And now they're like, it's just kind of, like race 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking Olympics.
It's meant to go back to the last race of the regular season next year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I kind of like that. We talked about this, but I said it was going to be weird. I'm glad it is weird because I kind of was rocking with the end of season Daytona thing.
I'm just glad that Darlington's still this upcoming weekend. It's still, Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
So.
Correct. Me too.
I'm more happy about that than I am weirded out by this. So.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, folks, this is Fake Racers Podcast. As always, we encourage you, if you haven't already, to click the like button on the video, subscribe, comment below, say hello, leave us a 5-star review on your podcast platform. It's a big help. We can't thank you enough. Like, comment, share, do all those things. I'm a podcaster now. Also, turn on automatic downloads if you have that option on your podcast platform because it helps. I'm Joe.
I'm Davey.
I'm Matthew.
And I'm Davey.
And I'm Joe, and we are back this week post-Daytona, where Harrison Burton won his first career race, 100th race win for Wood Brothers. We can talk about the ramifications here in a little bit, but first, for H-Bert, it's a big old win, ain't it?
It is. It's good vibes. Honestly, I did not find it hard to be happy about Harrison Burton, the Wood Brothers. The call to come to the finish, which we'll get to why it was so good, but the call with, Jeff Burton being audibly emotional and visibly emotional, fist pumping, almost wiping out Leigh Diffey at the line.
Welcome to the booth.
It was just really good vibes. I love when a race ends like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone on this, but the whole lead up into this Daytona weekend, I've kind of felt like we're getting some real classic Daytona summer vibes. There was a air of excitement around the race, despite it not being the playoff deal, But yeah. How can you not be happy about Harrison Burton winning that race?
Absolutely, yeah. That is going to be not only a life-changing win, but a career-changing win too, because the ramifications that Harrison even talked about is he's out of this ride at the end of the year, and so this win, you can clarify it however you'd like. As a plate track, there's carnage, but when it came down to it, Harrison Burton put a move on Kyle Busch and beat him back to the line. And just a huge win. And like you said, the moment with Jeff Burton was just so cool. I didn't hear Leigh Diffey's call in the moment because I was too into it. Straight goosebumps every time I've watched it since then. It's so good. Yeah, and like you said, the 100th win for Wood Brothers, it's so special. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff getting to radio down to Harrison there on the cool down lap was cool. Even if I forget, Harrison said a no word.
He did.
So expect how much did they find Dale Jr. back in the day? Insert that joke here. But
you guys are just trying to hurt me at this point.
What if they strip Harrison Burton of his playoff eligibility?
Could you imagine?
Instead of no word.
What if they take 10 points away from him? But Harrison Burton getting the big victory. Like you said, it's just good vibes, right? What wasn't good vibes were the cars continuing to flip. We had one get on its side. We had one ramp over another that TV didn't even cover at all. Shout out Eric Jones and William Byron for giving us that moment. Yeah. And then you had Josh Berry doing the good old blowover. So, first thing, have hammered it home, flat underbody. Not great, right? Understand why they did it, but it's still not great. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. There are flaps on the diffuser that are supposed to go down to kind of prevent this from happening, but when these cars get at that, like, I don't know what you want to call it, it's like a 50-degree, 60-degree yaw.
Yeah.
That's where the problem has been, because those diffuser elements that are supposed to go down and block air from getting underneath the car don't do that because they're not pointed in the direction of motion of the vehicle, and that's one of those whatever. The shark fin didn't help, is what everyone's saying. I think it did.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that I noticed early on in this race is everyone seemed a lot more stable behind the wheel of their car. I don't know about you guys, but it seemed like everyone was more in the track. Yet they were running really high speeds, so that means they were pretty trimmed out.
It's actually a really good point. I hadn't really considered that.
I don't like cars flipping. I know it's an inevitability. We talked about it last week after LaJoy went for his flip. But I don't know, man. It's frustrating because there's a big thing right there that says, hey, this is part of the problem. And then you see people talking about, well, the COT flipped, the next gen flipped, and I don't remember those cars flipping like this. I don't know. They always flipped because they got hit. You know what I mean? At least from my memory.
COT with the wing definitely didn't always only flip because they got hit, but there's a pretty notable one concerning your driver at Atlanta, Joe.
Yeah, but he did get hit.
Okay, okay. I don't understand how that's. He didn't get hit after he got turned around. Is my point.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Speaking of getting hit after you turn around, that's what happened to Michael McDowell anyway. I have a feeling he's probably getting airborne in any car, given what happened to him. But you are right though. Mostly with like, we're not really seeing a lot of cars flip. Choki's making faces. A lot of cars flip like Josh Berry did, or like Corey LaJoy did. And yeah, it's a problem. And yes, I know there's a big thing that's right there that, they can just fix it. But I don't think they can just fix it. Like this car was designed with the underbody in mind. And taking that away is going to
open Pandora's box.
It's going to completely change how the car races.
Well, it's not even that, because the reason why we went to this flat...
It is, though. It is
no.
that.
Yeah, I know, but it's not just that. It's the fact that the reason we went to this flat underbody was to get rid of all the underbody aero money that these teams were spending on different components to make the bottom of the car flat.
Right.
So, it is a cost savings measure, right? And the moment you open that back up, these teams are going to do stupid stuff because that's what they do, right? Like, engineers and race car drivers and race car mechanics and whatever. But, and I say stupid, it's cool, but whatever. So I don't know. It's just, I'm frustrated by it. I know they're trying. There isn't a good solution. I just wanted to say that there isn't a good solution. But there is a big problem that's staring us right in the face, and we can't do anything about it for reasons that are pretty obvious.
Yeah, good point. I do think. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Oh, I was genuinely just gonna say I don't have much to add.
Damn it. I do like. Denny Hamlin kind of explained this sentiment, and I bring up stuff from that podcast all the time, but like he's a driver and he's offering opinions, and I think
I haven't listened to it yet this week, so
I think it's worth it to
Good thing
hear
I didn't quote it last week or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, Davey's like, I'm the only one that's a Denny Hamlin fan here, so I'm the only one that listens to Denny's podcast. That's literally what you just said.
Definitely did not say that.
That is exactly verbatim. Right, Matt? That is what he said verbatim.
Yeah, roll the
Anyway,
clip.
He said some things that I don't necessarily disagree with, but I do think that he was taking a very narrow view of it, where like it's not like really the only flip that was really bad was Priest's, and that's just because he dug into the grass and got SHIT whipped into oblivion. Josh Berry got out of the car and said, "No, I'm fine. It probably was not as bad as it looked," and I was like, "Yeah, I mean that's fair because like the next gen is objectively now after some changes a very safe race car, right?" And he was like, I kind of don't necessarily mind it right now that it's flipping, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, but also it's not always about the drivers. The drivers probably are pretty safe. I worry about when the car gets turned around in the tri-oval at Talladega and there's 30,000 fans that are like in the bottom however many rows and are going to get, annihilated by fencing or shrapnel or half a car, you know? And that's kind of where I kind of think like we do need to get this under wraps. Like right now the car is safe. Drivers probably will not get hurt, but that's not necessarily a risk that I'd love to take more than I need to, and it's definitely not a risk I want to take when the fans are definitely not 100% safe if a car goes into the air, like in a pretty congested area of like fan traffic on a racetrack.
Yeah.
I think that's important to remember.
2 drivers did get hurt by this car this year, though, so,
I'm genuinely forgetting who that was now.
Eric Jones, Talladega, and Kyle Busch at Indy.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
One's a little more minor than the other, but like.
I don't necessarily think that Kyle Busch getting injured by the steering wheel is
okay. That's
the
fair.
result of the
That's
next
fine.
gen.
Yeah, that is something that has happened in multiple generations.
Decades.
But still, yeah.
Point
stands.
Let's just stop letting drivers get hurt. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm making a pretty agreeable point here. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Pretty safe, and especially in rollovers, it's obvious that this car is very safe.
Yeah. Alex Bowman had a car go through his window
net. Yeah, Michael McDowell landed on top of him. He still finished the race.
Car did turn into a bare bond hatchback.
Daniel Suarez just lit on fire,
That's one thing So my initial reaction when Josh hit the inside wall upside down, because like what you mentioned with Paris's flip here last year, that was the reason why they got rid of the grass. And then Josh Berry flipped in almost identically the same way, except instead of digging into the grass, he just fucking pile drove the inside wall. But I did notice one thing about it is, like, a lot of the time you don't see the next gen really crumple much, but if you go back and you rewatch it, you can see the floor under the nose of the car is buckled, which I don't think is something that can happen when the car is on the ground, because physics and the ground being in the way. And I think that's probably a big reason why Josh isn't hurt, is because the car for once actually did crumple a lot. Like, we haven't seen that much with the next gen, so it could have been way worse, but a lot of things lined up to be, to still keep Josh safe. But yeah, like, I don't know what the solution is. Like you're mentioning, we haven't really seen, before this, like, cars that take off like this since probably the pre-roof flap era. So I don't know. I hope the solution isn't slow the cars down, because like we kind of mentioned earlier, this was like an instant classic Daytona race. This is one of the best Daytona races I've seen in a very, very long time. Yeah. And I'd hate to lose it.
And it gets complicated too when like when Josh Berry gets spun, it's Austin Cindric who's right next to him, spinning at the exact same speed and angle and not flipping. Like,
yeah.
it's just absurd.
Yeah. There's a funny another funny piece of another funny parallel, which was earlier in the year when Corey LaJoie flipped. The guy who was on his side with him was Josh Berry, and now in back-to-back weeks, Corey LaJoie and Josh Berry have flipped. So, in a way, the same two guys have almost flipped twice in the same season, which is kind of absurd.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
Playoff bubble got flipped. I don't know. There wasn't a good segue there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
liked it.
Harrison Burton winning from 34th in points puts him in the playoffs.
Good thing they removed the top 30 rule.
But so that knocks Bubba Wallace and Ross Chastain out of the picture for the most part. I think they're both like around 20 points back of Chris Buescher.
Bubba's minus 21, and Ross is minus 27.
So, there goes my $5, most likely, and I bet on Ross to win the championship because, oh boy.
Yeah, that's the bummer side of the Harrison Burton win. It's, I wouldn't say it's hard to enjoy it, but man, it's a real stinker when it goes and knocks out a couple of pretty quick drivers. Chastain having a down year, yes, but that is a car that can win a race any weekend. Same goes for Bubba.
Both of those guys are ahead of now 4 guys that are in the playoffs. I think that's correct.
Yeah, correct. And I mean, they're right behind Bowman too, who's in.
Yeah. So people forget Joey Logano is currently 16th in the points.
God.
Yeah.
Think about that Nashville race.
Yeah. And I mean, we can brainstorm ideas for how to get this to not happen anymore, but it doesn't
Top 12
matter.
on points, 4 wild cards. There we go. Wild card round 1.
I would have got. Yeah, I mean that's not bad.
Yeah.
But none of it matters because.
Nope. These guys would still be on the outside looking in with that format, right? 4 lowest guys in points or 4 highest guys in points not in the top 12 with a win would still be the 4 that are out.
I mean, it's a shame that it was such a popular win because. I do genuine. Yeah, I think so.
I feel like people were being pretty negative, just for the playoff stuff.
People were being negative at the playoff stuff, but I mean, we had a Harrison Burton win, and then we had a Lane. I mean, the Lane Riggs
Ryan
win. Like,
Truex.
people have been, Ryan Truex, Martin Truex Jr.'s son.
Brother.
People have been like, I know it was a joke.
I was just making sure.
Okay.
We can't spread
Anyway.
misinformation.
Let me get to my point.
Nope.
Point is, I wish this wasn't such a popular win because I do believe it was a popular win. I've been seeing a lot of really lovey-dovey stuff about the Burtons on social media, and I love it. I think it's great. But if it was a less popular win, not that I think it would change, but there would be a little more fire and a little more pressure on NASCAR to address something like this happening, like in the future.
Well, you gotta figure this is millions of dollars for the 21 team now too, because they're gonna finish top 16 in points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I should clarify, like, what I was talking about post-race. Like, the thing that bums me out about this is we aren't, but a lot of people in NASCAR media aren't going to look back on this race and go, what an incredible day for Harrison Burton. And they're going to look back on it and go, what a terrible thing for the playoffs. Like, look at how much of a joke the playoffs are that this guy gets in because of this win, you know?
Yeah. Oh, man.
And that sucks. I hate that takes it away from Harrison a little bit.
If that's what you
honestly
think, takes away from the playoffs. Oh no, he's one of the first 4 guys eliminated, or he goes on a Cinderella run. Like I don't know.
I just think it's a bummer that it happens every year. There's always a fast car that doesn't quite make it into the playoffs. Like, I get it, but
yeah,
it just further highlights it. This is a very extreme version of it. I mean, there are cars that are very quick who probably deserve to be in the playoffs, and they aren't going to be in the playoffs because the guy that is literally last of all the full-time cars won a race at Daytona. And it's a shame because without this hanging over it, it does purely become about the Cinderella story is that Harrison Burton won at Daytona. It's no longer about the possible Cinderella run, which isn't going to happen. Like, let's be very real.
Okay, so what's the difference if he wins the Daytona 500 versus this race, and he's 34th in points?
I don't think it changes anything.
I do.
I think it's still the same.
I don't think it changes anything.
No, I don't.
I do.
Mm-mm. I think it's a slightly different optic because it happened so early in the season.
Exactly.
But that doesn't change the reality of it.
Doesn't change.
Yeah,
okay.
because
the optics become this eventually.
Yeah, because if Harrison does this and he wins the Daytona 500 and we roll around to Darlington and he's 34th in points and everybody's going to be like, seriously? Like, this is the kind of season they've had after that and they're getting in because of it? Because if you start the season at that high point and then you go precipitously downhill after that, like, I feel like people are going to be more critical.
Austin,
because
2022, where you at?
I mean, look at Trevor Bayne's entire career. He started on one of the highest highs, and it's been. I mean, I think
He's
Trevor
a driver
has
coach
had
with
some.
Legacy Motor Club.
Yeah,
he's
had
teams.
Yeah,
Bottom 3.
He's had plenty of good runs since then, but everybody's always been like, yeah, but how did he win a Daytona 500? Right? I think that, and unfortunately, that kind of defines his career is the fact that he never lived up to that.
Ooh, that's a very, very, very good way to put it.
Yeah. Ironically, also in the Wood Brothers 21. Yeah, I think that's my main point is like this is going to be used as a talking point against the playoffs rather than Harrison Burton basically saving his career, which makes me sad. I'm extremely happy for Harrison, and it just sucks that it's like, in 4 weeks' time they're going to be
Just
thrown aside and
back to an
everybody's going to go, oh, look,
afterthought.
well, yeah, and then everybody's going to go, yeah, they shouldn't have been in the playoffs anyway. So.
But what if they win at Atlanta?
That would be, like I've been talking about Austin Dillon winning next week, objectively hilarious.
What if they go out, they win at Atlanta, they win at Talladega, and they're in the round of 8?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
just imagine.
Is the Roval still in the round of 8, or is that
It's in
or
round
was
of
that
12.
round of 12? So
Ah,
yeah,
damn.
it is not the round
Next
of 8.
year's
It
Dega
wasn't
going
the
to the
other
round
ones.
of 8. Supposedly.
All right, so he's just got to find a way to do it again,
Allegedly.
and then,
Do it again.
yeah.
I don't even remember what tracks are in the round of 8 this year.
Vegas, Homestead, and Martinsville.
Yeah.
Oh, those are good tracks, but none that he's going to do well at.
Hasn't he? Didn't he win at Martinsville? I feel like he did.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know. Maybe if they get some of maybe if he ask some of the leftover SHR
people.
folks at that point.
Hey,
Yeah.
come join the
Set
Wood
up.
Brothers.
Yeah, he did win at Martinsville. Okay, it's all coming up Harrison Burton. All right, pencil him in for the Final Four.
How's he going to win at Phoenix, buddy?
We'll find a way.
Hey, he'd still finish
Hey!
fourth in the points at worst, and that is a huge improvement.
Phoenix-
It's a plus 30.
Phoenix has been very good to Penske the last 2 years.
That's a good point.
Imagine if Penske is sitting there with all 4 cars in the Final Four.
Oh my god.
After whatever this year has been for them.
Yeah.
Because outside of Ryan Blaney, it has not been great.
No.
Ryan Truex won the Xfinity race Friday night. Pretty entertaining
Good
little
win.
race.
It was a good race. Probably the best Xfinity Daytona race that's happened in a while. Those races have been kind of dog for a hot minute.
Yeah.
They tried to get single file there at the end. They tried.
They really wanted to. Boy, they wanted to. I tell you what.
They tried.
Didn't let them. Thank goodness.
What was I gonna say?
I don't really remember much otherwise. It was a shame
Austin
to
Hill
see-
got involved in a wreck early, so that was cool.
Oh yeah, lap one.
Big wreck.
Well, he also had problems that sent him to the back too. Like he had a change or something. Anyway, my biggest takeaway was a bummer to see the AJ and Parker show come apart at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Parker
They were
got a
working
little,
well
little
together.
too aggressive, you know?
That's bait.
A little too aggressive there at the end on the last lap.
That's bait.
Can't be getting that aggressive on the last lap at Daytona, man.
Joe's just harboring all of this animosity because his driver is getting sunned by John Hunter Nemechek. It's kind of insane.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
You think?
I gotta look this up now.
Why don't you look at the points, buddy?
Eric Jones
Shit.
was butt booty ass last at Indy.
And-
You were watching it. It was like he was down
Well-
18 cylinders.
Yeah, because he probably was. That's your driver, man. That's your driver. Your driver owns that car.
It's not my
So-
driver.
And let me tell you, he was
Okay.
talking
Eric-
positively about Eric. He wasn't talking at all about John Hunter during the broadcast on Saturday. Tell you all you need to know.
Well, yeah, because Eric Jones needs that.
Eric is 5 spots clear of John Hunter Nemechek, except they're 26th and 31st in points. So
And Eric missed
Also-
2 races? Or one
One's
race?
a rookie.
I
One
also
is
want
not
to
a
point
rookie.
out that
No, wait, hold
John-
on. John Hunter is not a
Yeah.
rookie.
One's a rookie.
That's incorrect. You're still incorrect.
I also want to point out that John Hunter Nemechek just passed Corey LaJoie in points.
Yeah. So,
I'm just saying.
Yikes. Anyway.
glad TRD supports one of those guys, and it's not the one that's better. Lane Riggs won the truck race Sunday from
Yeah.
Milwaukee. Turned it
I
around.
love that.
I'm glad he finally
Was-
did something worth a damn, because boy, has he sucked this year. I tell you what.
He threw his,
all I
shoulder
heard
out
was-
celebrating.
Yeah, my thing was he waited till after the race to wreck for once.
Yeah, that's been the big. I mean, he's a rookie. That's a big part of it. There's been speed, but like you mentioned, there's been a lot of mistakes and wrecks.
Zane Smith, come on
But-
down.
I was very, very pumped for that because there is a lot of hype around Lane Riggs. So to see him finally put it all together was really cool. And I mean, he did it at Milwaukee and beat Ty Majeski, in basically his backyard. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, and it was cool to see Scott Riggs. So he's in victory lane.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad he finally proved me wrong, because I was big time down on Layton Riggs all season, because all I heard was hype and I didn't really know much about him, and he stunk it up for a while.
Yeah, I think a big part of it was the hype, because and this is kind of just like a grander point I feel like we're seeing, especially in like truck and Xfinity, is we've seen so many of these guys that jump up into like truck or Xfinity and immediately start winning, like your Ty Gibbs or your Chase Elliott's or your Ryan Blaney's or your Corey Himes, and those guys are the exception. And like this is where these lower series are where they're supposed to learn. And so I think a lot of the people who hyped up Lane Riggs, I'm like, let's slow it down a little bit. Dude is a rookie. He's hopping into a championship caliber truck. Like, give him a little bit of time. So I was happy for that. Yeah.
Cool.
Otherwise, I don't have anything to say about that race.
All right, well,
did not really watch it.
Let's go back to the Cup race, because Leigh Diffey made his debut in NBC Sports booth.
It was so good. So
it was
refreshing.
good.
Dude.
Let's go.
Be hard-pressed to find anybody who doesn't think that he did a good job. That is at least someone you should take seriously, mind you.
Yeah, I'm a bigger defender of Rick Allen than a lot of people are. I think he's fine.
Agreed.
But just the level of like gravitas that Leigh brought to the broadcast, even pre-race, was just incredible.
Is that it? Wait, is
and
it
he
Leigh?
was. I think
was
it's kind
Leigh.
of in the middle.
Oh man.
I don't know. Whatever. Leigh Diffey, whatever. It's somewhere in between, I think.
The Diffster. That's
D-
what we're gonna
Diff.
call him.
Yeah.
It probably is Leigh Diffey, but because of his accent, he pronounces it like Leigh, obviously.
Oh, okay, that's probably why. But anyway, just like the level of gravitas that he brought to the whole race, he was absolutely on his A game, and his call of the finish is just incredible.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, big fan.
Would like to shout out the two people that messaged me during the race that asked, "Who is this F1 commentator?" That was funny. That made me laugh.
Dude, I remember when he showed up in 2017 and did a few races, and everybody's like, "Who's this friggin' British guy?" And I'm like, he's not British.
That happened again. That happened again for this race, which is why I added the comment of people you shouldn't take seriously.
Yeah. Like, God forbid we have an Aussie who's the best in the world at his job. So dumb.
Yeah, I would say he's the best in the world.
Heaven forbid.
Fresh off of the Olympics, no big deal.
In the English-speaking world, how about that?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Glad we all agree. Leigh Diffey rocks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go from the shop.
Well, it picked up on my recording. My noise canceling canceled it out.
Oh,
Dang it.
darn. SVG.
We didn't hear it, though.
SVG.
Yeah, it'll be in the show.
SVG is going Cup Series racing in 2025 in the number 88 for Trackhouse. Dale Jr. has not
I
bought
should
into
have
the
worn
team.
my Dale Jr. hat.
Dale Jr. has not bought into the team. Dale Jr. has not bought into the team. This comes a day after Trackhouse and Zane Smith mutually announced that they are mutually parting ways.
Can I just say, the day before that announcement, I went to Target, and I'm not exaggerating. I bought both of these Zane Smith Front Row Motorsports Race Win diecasts.
Yeah.
I wonder where he's going to be next year, you guys.
Yeah.
What car is he going to be driving?
Where could he be? Where could he be going?
Happy for Shane. He's performed pretty well in the Xfinity Series. And equipment that I think most people can agree probably isn't top-tier equipment anymore. And
That's why AJ's going
doing
back
it.
to Cup.
as a rookie in the series, a rookie to oval racing. They also, I forget if we talked about this last week, they added several Cup races. He's running 7 of the last 12 Cup races this season.
Love it.
I don't have the track list for you right now, but regardless, he'll be running a bunch of Cup races on ovals. as well as one of the round courses.
Yeah, I would assume he's running Watkins Glen, and then AJ's getting the Roval.
Probably.
That would, AJ Allmendinger, absolute beast at the Roval. Maybe let him run that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's cool. I also think it's cool that he got the 88. I know there's a lot of people who are like very mad for some reason that he didn't get the 97. I'm like, that's fine. I kind of like that the 88, which is a pretty historic number, gets to live on with a driver who, in my opinion, has the potential and kind of already is pretty historic for NASCAR with, the Chicago performance and, his move over here. It's cool. I love it.
I feel bad for all these people with these 91 tattoos that changed him to 97 and now have to change him to 88 somehow,
He changed his number.
Can't just add an 8 to it.
Yeah. Also, 88's just like an aesthetically pleasing number. It just looks good.
It is. That number with the Trackhouse font looks so good. I was like, oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I can't.
And the assumption is Connor Zilic will probably run the same font and branding in the Xfinity Series next year for JRM.
So cool.
If they so choose. I don't know. Obviously, Dale Jr.'s pretty tight at the hip to that number. So
yeah, although it does make a lot of sense why they put him in the 88 and not like the 8 or the 9 car next year. So it's like, oh, branding. Also, because we forgot to mention during the race, Van Gisbergen's engine failure.
That was
Oh my god!
And then
biblical.
I think Eric Jones lost a tire, and then Truex also lost a tire on the same lap or something.
It was like one of those chaos TikToks where like 18 things are all just happening at the same time. And it was all happening under commercials, so everybody's like, what is happening right now? There's like 8 different things happening. Yeah, I love that for Shane. Like, you could make the argument that it's rushed a little bit, but Shane's very experienced, and he's
right.
Yeah, and I was gonna say he doesn't have a lot of time left in his prime, so
he's got about 5 years here, buddy. Better win some. You got seriously. You go over 41, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. There's not, it's.
Yeah, the Zane Smith news is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the rumor's been I feel like Trackhouse last offseason was just trying to snap up drivers to replace Suarez, like and then Suarez won a race and just signed his deal, and it's like...
Yeah. I think a big part of it, too, was like Chevy had him in their system, and then they lost him to front row, and then had an opportunity to get him back, and they were like, we got to jump at this, and then didn't really have a place for him. So, yeah, who knows? Zane with front row would be pretty cool. I think dropping down to Xfinity would also be pretty cool. But I think whoever lands him is going to get a hell of a race.
If he were to go back to Xfinity, I don't know what top-tier equipment he would be able to get into.
Yeah, well, that's the big thing, too, is this is so late into the season, too. You know, if we knew he wasn't going to be with Trackhouse when they announced he wasn't going to be with Spire, he might have been able to slide into one of the JRM cars or something. But
well, that's why I think front row makes the most sense, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, they have 3 charters next year and 1 driver.
2.
So, wait, who's their second?
Noah.
Outside of Zane.
Who are we talking about?
I forgot about Gregson. I totally forgot about Gregson.
Noah and Todd,
okay, never mind.
So we need one more.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
If they bought that 3rd charter. We don't know. They said they did.
Yeah.
Trackhouse apparently has bought a 3rd charter. RFK is rumored to get a 3rd charter. 2311 is rumored to get a 3rd charter.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people saying they're getting charters, and there ain't that many charters left, I don't think.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we got a new manufacturer coming in NASCAR, so we can add some charters or something. I don't know.
I think
you would think.
The big
we
thing
gonna sign the charter agreement.
The big thing that screwed it all up is you had 4 teams that all wanted one and 4 charters available, and then Gene Haas was like, actually, I'm going to keep one of these for myself, and now everybody's like rabid dogs like fighting over the last one.
But that was smart on his part.
Oh, yeah.
Because he'll just sell that one in like a year or 2 when it, things don't go well.
Sorry, Cole. Later. I'm heading out.
Make my millions. Daniel Dye is going full-time Xfinity racing with Colleague in 2025. I don't know.
Our war documentarian is moving up.
So the CW is going to have some great camera angles. Josh Williams is also likely to be back in the number 11 next year, which I don't know. I don't think that's all that surprising. Not that he's performed great, but he brings money.
Yeah.
Colleague seems to need money right now.
That and like it's kind of hard to get a read on Josh Williams with just how much turmoil's going on over there. Like, I think he's better than what his results have shown, or has the potential to be better, but this year's been a disaster.
It's hard to drive. It's hard to drive a fast car fast, but it's easy to drive a slow car faster than it should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's a level of expectation that came with Williams kind of moving up, because really the only guys that I can think of top of my head that have like been in bad equipment and have found success are Ross Chastain, right? And Alex Bowman.
Yeah.
Those are the only two I can think of that had a decent period of time in lesser equipment and then won in the better stuff.
Yeah.
Those are the only two.
Yeah, and I think about it.
Bowman did it first, by the way, folks. Austin Dillon's final appeal got denied.
To the surprise of nobody.
Will RCR sue NASCAR? I mean, they could say, like, this monetary damage. Just saying.
Lame.
Well. And
Would be
NASCAR
lame.
is set to officially announce a return to Mexico City with the NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Mexico Series in 2025. It would be the first Cup Series international race since, like, the 50s or something, I think is what I saw.
W.
That's awesome. Love it.
What's Kyle Busch going to do?
What is Kyle Busch going to do?
I imagine NASCAR is going to write a very big check to the Mexican government. I think that's what is going to happen.
Is Kyle Busch like a wanted criminal or something down there? Or is he just not allowed to travel? Like, what is actually the dealio?
I think he just has a travel restriction.
Yeah, okay, because he brought a firearm into the country.
Yeah.
And that's a big no-no if you do that legally.
I've heard.
Yeah, you know. If you do it illegally, heyo. All right. Anyways, my bottom split moment of the week was my last comment there, because it made no sense. But actually, my bottom split moment is Florida State going all the way to Ireland to lose to Georgia Tech. That was funny. Sorry, Lauren.
Sorry.
Anyways, Davey, what's your bottom split moment?
Damn, that's a toughie. My bottom split moment? Oh, I wrote it down. I have notes. I had notes. Are you guys so proud of me? I had notes.
Yep. Matt, what's your
I'm very
bottom split
proud of you.
moment?
What the
Davey, are you ready? Are you still looking?
I had
I was trying to give you some time.
a bad... Can I go now?
No.
Can
Matt,
I go?
Matt, what's your bottom split moment of the week?
My bottom split moment of the week is this fucking bit.
Awesome. All right, Davey, what's your bottom split moment of the week?
I had a bad pen week.
My bottom split moment of the week was Florida State.
I had a bad pen week. You ever just have a bad pen week? You just...
Dude,
This one's been working pretty good, but I had to throw away like 3 pens that just wouldn't do nothing.
That is, every time I go to write my rent check every month, I find about 18 pens that don't work, and I can't find my one that does. And I know, and I use it every single time, and I always put it back in the same spot, and then it's gone.
And then you still always find more pens that don't work the next time, right?
Yeah.
What
They're
is
just
going
multiplying.
on? Has the pen industry been slacking? Are they taking away from us? Are they trying to get us to buy more pens? I'm onto it. I can smell it. It's pissing me off. Bad pen week. I bought a bunch of pens. I've thrown away a few, numerous. This one's going all right, but I'm keeping my eye on it.
Yeah. My actual bottom split moment of the week. You guys ever find, like, important news through a really dumb medium? Because this got Noah, and then it got me. I found out that one of my favorite bands, Oasis, is finally reuniting and ending their 15-year-long feud between the Gallagher brothers via the things that Liza Minnelli outlived page on Twitter. because it just said Liza Minnelli has now outlived the Oasis breakup of 15 years, and I was like, are you serious? This is how I find out about this? So, pumped for Oasis, and I'm also pumped for Liza Minnelli. Bottom slip moment of the week.
That's awesome, dude.
Joe, what's your road to pro
Joe,
moment?
do you have a road to pro moment, buddy? You're just gonna sit there.
I'm holding in a sneeze right now, actually. So thanks.
Bless you.
I'm trying not to sneeze because I don't have a way to mute anything.
Do it.
My road.
Just cut it out in post.
My road to pro moment was Jeff Burton's and Harrison Burton's hug. There, that was a very good feel-good moment.
Sneeze.
Hachu. Matt, what's your road to pro moment of the week?
So I'm really glad that you alley-ooped that into me, because there was a really cool moment during the broadcast after Harrison's interview where Leigh Diffey told Jeff, he's like, Jeff, get out of here. Go celebrate with your son.
Yeah.
And then he left the booth. And that was not the first time it's happened. That wasn't even the first time that happened that day. That's right. It was the last motocross race of the season, and I'm still talking about it. James Stewart, fastest man on the planet, now retired, is in the booth, and he has been one of the most vocal critics of Chase Sexton. And this week, Sexton went 1-1 to win his 7th straight overall and to wrap up the championship. And on the final lap, you just heard a fumbling of the microphone, and then Jason Wygant goes, James has just jumped out of the booth. I don't know what's going on. And then they cut to the camera angle of Chase going through the last corner, and there's James Stewart, dreads halfway down his back in his NBC Sports polo, next to the track, punching air as Chase goes by, cheering him on. As Chase went on to win his first title, so that was my road to pro moment. So James Stewart couldn't hold in his excitement.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We love
How about you,
stuff
Davey?
like that. My road to pro moment, as I'd spoken on the podcast, how it's just been a lot of not being home for weekends, and then I have had weekends at home now, but this past weekend was the first weekend that both Lauren and I could be home for the whole weekend at the same time, and it was a great, much needed reset. That was my road pro moment, is getting a moderately decent reset weekend with her, because boy, we needed it.
I feel that. Yep.
All right. That's Fake Racers Podcast, folks. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, listen, leave us a 5-star review, comment, say hello, like the video. We're live over on JTN tonight when this comes out with the NASCAR Cup Series Throwback 200 from Rockingham. It's going to be a great time. So tune in and watch. Say hello to me. I'd appreciate it if you did. Davey, what we got going on this week in the USORL?
If you just so happen to have some free time on Thursday when you're not catching up on all your favorite JTN content, the Track and Turf Truck Series is live through Simtrax Broadcasting. They are broadcasting our playoffs. The playoffs are starting. It's round 1. Winning, you're in. We're at Lucas Oil. So if you happen to have some time on Thursday, tune into that. As far as any personal streams, we'll have to see what my Saturday and Sunday look like.
And Matthew, you got a new show rolling here or a new season of the show rolling here.
Yeah. By the time you're listening to this tomorrow, new episode of Oof Sides. Gonna be doing our season predictions. Who's gonna win each division? Who's gonna win the Super Bowl? Who is Jack gonna make threats to? Find all of that and more on Oof Sides.
The Jack threats one sounds like it's an easy guess, and I would just have to say anyone not the Bills.
Yeah, yeah. No, that doesn't exclude the coaching staff. And anybody not.
Point.
It's basically anybody not named Josh Allen. So.
Really? I would think he would be very critical of Josh Allen.
No, he loves Josh Allen.
Oh, I mean, it makes sense.
He made several actionable threats to Sean McDermott last season that I had to edit out. So
was that some shade, Davey?
No, Joe. I felt like what you said was some shade.
That's what I'm
just
saying.
Bringing the light to it.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
was just bringing the light to it. I was just saying, wow. Joe.
I wish
said
I could be
that,
on
you know
whose
what I mean?
sides.
You can. You can just ask.
I wish I could be on whose sides. I don't have to ask to do
Joe-
anything as part of track and turf.
Joe
I
would-
just tell you what to do.
Joe, would you like to be on whose sides?
I can. I have Maverick. That was the
Oh.
yeah.
How long's Maverick
What's
going on though?
Whose sides is more
November.
important?
Just cut that out.
You're not
Cut it
wrong.
out. Stop.
No, I made a commitment.
The people who care about this aren't listening. Just stop doing that.
I wonder if you watch the Maverick Cup Series every week and you've made it to this point in the show. Can you just say something? Like
Yeah.
Can you like drop like say something in code and don't let Ben know?
Mike Seneca is going to be in the comments now.
Mike Seneca's in the comments. Where if Mike Seneca comments on this week's edition of the Fake Racers podcast, we're shutting down the show. Fake Racers podcast is done. We'll have to
There's going to be a
pivot.
comment below like, great show or great episode this week. Thumbs up.
I'm just like I'm like furiously deleting everything.
JTN will now be known as Track and Turf. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for watching, for listening. However you support us here on the Fake Racers podcast on Track and Turf. Remember to subscribe, follow the podcast, do all those things to help support us. We appreciate you so much, and we can't wait to see you next week after the Southern 500 right here on the Fake Racers podcast. Bye.
Bye.